West Ham, currently sitting in 7th. Doing really well this season, West Ham.
They're having a good season. Yeah, they're having a good season. Another good season.
Although most fans are not really behind David Moyes that I speak to.
No, I do understand why as well, because I think that the success that they had last year in Prague, it really did paper over a lot of cracks. Like, West Ham last season, everybody talks about it being an iconic year, and of course it is, because they won silverware for the first time since 1980. They hadn't won any silverware since Frank Lampard's old man was lifting silverware for them. I think they beat Arsenal in the cup final of 80. But they finished last season on 40 points. 40 Premier League points is the bare minimum, isn't it? So it's all very well talking about the great season that they had last year, but it is a little bit smoke and mirrors. If they don't win that cup, I think he's sacked. But he did win the cup, and he was dancing on the pitch with his old man, and I'm kind of pleased for Moyes. But I think there is an argument that perhaps he should have gone, having succeeded in Prague.
But, you look back at the West Ham team of 2002, 2003 when they got relegated. Defoe, Canute, Carrick, Cole, like David James in goal, Winterburn,
it was the most points, wasn't it? It was the most points anyone's ever gone down with.
But, what I wonder from West Ham fans, especially, is what do you want? Do you want that exciting, kind of Defoe and Di Canio and Cole era, but you got relegated? Or silverware?
Yeah.
The ability to come over the Spurs and say champions of Europe and all that kind of malarkey and have a bit of banter.
Yeah.
And a trophy. And up there in the top 10, again, heading towards another European campaign.
I think what they would possibly suggest is that last season, without that trophy, he would be sacked. So, 40 points in the Premier League is not enough for West Ham. And I think for them to become the club that they want to be, they've positioned themselves as the London club, haven't they? They've got a huge ground, the most uninspiring ground in the Premier League, undoubtedly, but it's a huge ground. And I think they want to kick on. They want to make strides. They aren't particularly inspired by David Moyes, and I would suggest that they're probably onto something. I think that they could do better than Moyes, and I think that Moyes had his moment. The moment that he had in Prague will live forever. But I think there is a genuine argument that he should have fallen on his sword off the back of winning that trophy.
But we waxing and recall back Gary O'Neill and how great Wolves are. West Ham beat Wolves 3-0 the other week, and they beat Manchester United 2-0.
Yeah, they have it. They do pull out some results, certainly. But I think the style of football isn't in keeping. I think West Ham United fans, when they say things like it sounds very abstract when West Ham fans aren't in the room to explain what it means. But when they say things like the West Ham way, that really does mean something to them. The traditions that they think that the game should be played in. They think that the game should be played in a very expansive, progressive, almost iconic way that is in keeping with the traditions of the club. If you think about the players that they love over the years, they're players who have an element of flair and dazzle to their game. David Moyes is the antithesis of that, isn't he?
I suppose if you look at their front four with Kudus, Ward-Prowse, Paqueta and Bowen, there's a lot of potential there to play some really expansive football.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Paqueta is one of the
sensational.
Yeah, I mean, you can totally understand why Pep Guardiola was so interested in signing him. Yeah. The assist the other day when they beat Manchester United. The assist over the top for Jarrod Bowen. That ball over the top made the goal. I mean, obviously Jarrod Bowen gets a lot of credit,
and
but
his assist against Wolves for Kudus.
Yeah, absolutely. But the one over the top. That was more in keeping with the traditions of golf than it was football. The way a golf ball will drop on the green. An excellent golfer will make the ball drop on the green and it just dies, doesn't it? The ball lands next to the hole and it doesn't bounce, it doesn't go anywhere. That's what Paqueta did for Jarrod Bowen. He just put it over the top of the defender and the ball sat perfectly for Bowen to ultimately bundle it over with a little bit of help from Andre Onana.
Not an easy place to go to, the Emirates. But
the Declan Rice, isn't it? It's going to be so Declan Rice heavy this game.
It's the reunion.
I've just seen Arsenal on Twitter, all of the imagery around the game. It's Declan Rice all at the heart of it.
Mr. Arsenal kissed the badge.
Yeah. I don't know if obviously it's interesting. If any West Ham fans are listening, I'd like to know their thoughts on this. At one point, it felt like they were wishing him quite well.
Yeah,
he helped them win silverware for the first time in decades, and they've seen him go to Arsenal, and they can understand why, and they wish him well. But I do wonder if that soured a little bit. I'm just not so sure that they will be adopting that principle tonight. In the away end, I would be very interested to hear what sort of reception Declan Rice will be given.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.